When it comes to destructive jutsus, there's no shortage of them in Naruto. We have things ranging from the Rasengan all the way to Infinite Tsukuyomi, which is literally a world hypnotizing jutsu. And in this amazing list, I'm going to show you 5 of the best destructive jutsus in all of Naruto. But before I get into that, please guys like and subscribe. I would highly appreciate it. Number 5 on the list would be Flying Raijin. Everybody that's watching this knows this jutsu. This is definitely a fan favorite. It was created by Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage, and later on perfected by Minato Namikaze. Now, what he did to perfect this is, well, practice. He used his kunais, and whatever he marks, or anybody that he can mark with the Flying Raijin seal, they're sealed forever. Like, he can teleport to them whenever he wants as long as he's alive, which is why in the 4th grade ninja war, Minato was able to teleport to Obito and basically take him down with just one slash of this kunai, even though like at least 20 years had passed. And the interesting thing about this jutsu is you're not limited to wherever you throw it. You can plant it somewhere, literally even on another dimension. Now we found that in Boruto. If you can manage to store a kunai in another dimension, like in the Otsutsuki dimension, for example, and you're on Earth, you can technically teleport to that kunai whenever you want as well. You can literally travel between dimensions. How cool is that? Now, the reason it's not higher on the list is I just don't find it that destructive. And remember, this is the most dangerous, so we're talking destructiveness as well. However, the reason it's actually on this list specifically is because technically if you set up a million kunai, you can take out a million people at once, right? You can basically be city level with this jutsu. So that's why I put it. Moving on to number 4 on the list, and this is actually my favorite jutsu of all time and what really got me into Naruto, and it's called the Sage Art Wood Style Shinzu Senju Vertible Thousand Armed Cannon. That's one heck of a name. And look at the size of this thing. Like, this thing is arguably bigger than the entire Leaf Village. He was able to grab a Susanoo infused kurama with just one of the wooden hands, and this guy had 1,000 hands. Man, Hashirama was something else back then, like literally. Definitely the strongest shinobi there ever was. And this move is definitely a favorite to me because it also has ties to Buddhism, because literally you see the Buddha in the praying formation with all 1,000 hands. Like, it's really cool. So in terms of destructiveness, this move has it all, because literally you can wipe out a city with this move. Heck, maybe even a country. Because just look at it. Imagine if he actually used all 1,000 hands at the same time. Imagine the destructive capacity that Hashirama would be able to do, like say if he was evil, for example. But overall, amazing jutsu. The only thing I don't like about this jutsu is that we didn't see it more. Now, I know in the 4th grade ninja war, Spiral Zetsu did use a version of this jutsu, but obviously it's way weaker. All it could do is shoot 4 elements at the same time. This one can shoot 1,000 fists at the same time. And on that note, we're going on to number 3, which is Indra's Arrow. Now, this jutsu is just the coolest thing. We have literally the final form Susanoo infused with the chakra of the 10 bijus at the same time, melded together into the Susanoo to create this lightning god Susanoo creation. And what Sasuke did with this is very interesting. First of all, he had a sword which he used to fight Naruto in the final valley. But honestly, to me, it really looked more like a spear because he was able to almost behead Kurama in the battle. But what was really interesting was now when it was in the final moments when they actually used the Indra's Arrow, because there's no official name for this specific Susanoo type, so I'm just calling it Final Susanoo. But back to the move, so it's called Indra's Arrow. He creates a bow and arrow of pure lightning, and he was able to stand up to a 3-headed Kurama infused with, I'm guessing, an unlimited amount of sage energy, definitely a huge amount, and the explosion they created when they shot. So if this was real life, I'd definitely put that in a high tier hurricane level, whatever that means, city level, country level. Tell me in the comments. Number 2 on the list is quite a special one. This is called the Golden Wheel Reincarnation Explosion, performed by Toneri Otsutsuki in Naruto the Last movie. And now how this works is when he was in the Tenseigan chakra mode, honestly the coolest chakra mode I've ever seen so far, he used basically a lot of his chakra to create a golden sword, and he was able to slice the entire moon in half. That's how powerful this move is. And to put into comparison, the moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth, and he sliced that in half basically. Think about the destruction there. Slicing the moon in half, that is no easy feat. A lot of these moves cannot do that. That's why he's placed so high on the list. Before I move on to number 1, I do have a quick honorable mention, which is the 6 Paths Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken, Naruto's strongest move definitely in his arsenal, which we only saw one time, again against Sasuke in the final valley, and it was basically able to reshape the entire valley. Like, this move was definitely insane. First tell Kurama, go charge up as much sage energy as you can, And think about it, an entire Biju storing Sage Chakra, that's unheard of, first of all. And the amount that he stored was definitely enough to go counter Sasuke's Indra Zero. And that's about the only feat that this thing has, which is why it's not number one. If we saw a little more of it, maybe if we saw it in one of the movies or in Boruto, maybe it would have been number one. Same thing with Indra Zero. But moving on to number one now, I have the expansive truth-seeking orb, which is performed by Kaguya Otsutsuki in her final battle. And what she did is literally when she used all of her chakra, combined it into one, I suppose, and turned herself into a giant truth-seeking ball, and which was basically going to come down and destroy the entire dimension, not planet, dimension. Now think about it, one truth-seeking orb, a normal-sized one, can basically reduce anything to atoms, anything that it touches. So we're talking of a huge moon-sized truth-seeking orb. Yeah, that's gonna destroy anything in sight. No one's gonna survive. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if it's on Suzuki. Nobody's gonna avoid this. And the destructive power is, well, literally number one. That's why I put it there. And with that being said, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my list. If you disagree, please let me know down below what you think, and see you guys next time.